Barry Stoneham won the toss. Cats going left to right. Slight breeze in the first quarter. They go up in the middle, and it's knocked out by Gehrig. Interesting in the first ruck. Goes to Riccardi. He concedes some ground. Goes back to Mansfield. Back to Riccardi, and the Cats off and running through the middle. Pickering. Kicked by Pickering inside the 50. Wide of Stoneham. Couch didn't start in the centre square. Couch just gets rid of it. Billy Brownless's first touch for the season. What a perfect kick to Barnes.
It's spot on, Drew, wasn't it? And that lead up. Riccardi did the right thing. The ball came to in the middle. He could have taken on, had a bounce, but he gave it forward quickly to Pickering. And then the quality of Couch saw him get out of a bit of trouble and give Brownless the opportunity. That was a good pass by Billy on the left.
So John Barnes for the first goal of the game in the first minute, and gets it. Great start for the Cats.
Yes, and there's no question that he's such an important player. Gary Hocking mentioning the press that it's just so crucial that Barnes gives them a few touches out the middle initially, allows them to set up with their great midfield strength. And Couch, who's starting forward, you see they're being pressured by Simmons. And Brownless could have turned further and had a ping himself. Found the right option.
And the big surprise is Fraser Gehrig playing in the ruck as we look at the
Downsborough, Morrison and Lyle on the bench.
So Gehrig would certainly be giving away a lot of height here to Barnes. Let's see, Barnes actually wins that one. Oh, into the back of it. It looks like Bond on the bottom of the pack. There it is. It's Shane Bond. Now he gives it off to Mainwaring. Very important play for the Eagles. Chris Mainwaring, he brings it up towards half-foot. Hall was underneath it. Ball was there. Cousins eventually is knocked away from Andy Lovell and over the line at half-forward for the Eagles. Huge game for the West Coast. Got a tough run coming up. And
yes, they've got Carlton, Melbourne, North, Pete.
I'm really looking forward to watching young Ben Cousins, the son of Brian Cousins, former Geelong player. Big raps on him. There's Gary Hocking crashing his way through. Liam Pickering comes back to McGrath. McGrath brings it in towards the centre of the ground. There were 3 Eagles. Now, this is Glenn Jakovich swooping on this ball onto the left. Oh, beautiful kick by Jakovich to half forward. And this is Philip Matera. Almost gave it to his brother, then elects to bring it in towards half forward. That's a good lead. That's by Jason Ball, and a nice mark out in front. Great kick.
Yes, and Glenn Jakovich is pretty pumped up, and he's doing the right thing here, just feeding off them. Matera finds Ball, who has a bit of space to run through, and that's the sort of kick he'd like when you're playing that situation. He's got some height advantage over McGrath.
Well, he's gone a mile back, Ross. He's almost back to the centre for this run-in, but that's better than taking the 2 or 3 little steps as he runs in just inside 50, out to the right, stays out there, and only a behind results.
But I think you and I have often discussed this, that a number of players take too short a number of steps. You've got to go back far enough to give yourself some momentum when you're coming forward, get some balance.
Now Graham to kick in for the Cats. Can kick it a country kilometre. Slight breeze behind the Cats in the first quarter. That has gone a long way. Punch down to the front. The Eagles off and running. Cousins gets his first touch. A high ball out in front of goal. It's there for the Eagles, but McGrath roves the front of the pack. Kicks across the half-back line. Spirals or torpedo. Bounces just inside the line. Well judged.
Interesting setup too by Malthouse and his selection panel. Gehrig taking the ball in the middle as a ruckman, then going back to centre half-back to pick up Stoneham, and Jakovich running with Barnes.
So here's Barnes actually. Well, he went for that uncontested and then Riccardi couldn't pick it up. Now here's Scholl. Back it comes to Sanderson. Back to Scholl. He's looking further field here for his teammate there in Lee Colbert, but it beats him over the line. It's Colbert. He's put in the longer hair this year. So again a throw in. Half forward for the Eagles. Again Jakovich. Colbert. Handball straight up in the air. Barnes cleverly taps it wide to Sanderson. It's off the side of the boot, and a nice little slips catch taken down here by Ashley McIntosh.
Well, wonderful mark just inside the boundary line. Left half-back flank. Up to centre wing. Ball jostled out of it. Riccardi got high for the Cats. Comes down to the front of the pack, and that's nice work. The hand pass coming from Schofield. Lovell to half forward. And Sanderson sees the ball out of play. Cats have the first goal. The Eagles a point. Barnes and Jakovic. So Jakovic moving well up the field to contest that boundary throw in at half forward. And it was interesting to see Fraser Gehrig in the ruck for the opening bounce of the game.
I think that's a good move, Ross.
Well, Jakovic has done it before, and Gehrig's certainly mobile enough, big enough to match it with Stoneham at centre half forward.
Well, there's Jakovic tapping it down, but it's taken by Colbert, and it's down towards half forward for Geelong. This is McKinnon, the former Adelaide Crow. He's a long kick. He gets onto his left, belts it up. One-on-one contest at the back. That's a very good mark. Billy Brownless too strong.
Well, I thought he did the wrong thing by himself there, Pete, in sitting behind and allowing Mitchell White to take the front posse. We'll see this again. McKinnon just getting his kick in time. And Brownless wanting to sit behind, and White just not being able to push back strongly enough. And Brownless just enough of a push within the rules to take the grab.
He's certainly within the rules, and he's just too strong, Billy, and he's right in front for Geelong's second, and he belts it right through the middle. So a very, very good start this by Geelong, the first 2 goals of the game.
Yes, and Brownless have featured in both, giving one off to Barnes in the first instance. Here we see McKinnon, who I think is a pretty fair player, got some pace. He does kick the ball well. Brownless finishing off.
So importantly, the first 2 goals for the Cats to start the game. Glenn Jakovic, best and fairest winner the last 3 years, has been switched from centre half back into the ruck, and he beats Barnes with the tap out. Riccardi sharks it, gets the ball going forward. McKinnon long to full forward. Brownless underneath it. Oh, what a mark! McIntosh. Well, he's taken one low and he's taken one high. Sensational mark. Away to Hart, and he finds Main Waring at half back flank.
Chris Main Waring, oh, an ordinary kick. He's just got to do something about that disposal. McGrath, or in the back, maybe, no. Paid. Here's Hocking. Quick hand pass. Back it comes to Main Waring. Oh, Geelong went in very hard there. Comes off the hands of McKinnon and over the line.
And Pete, the change to be made by Malthouse. The matchup I thought would have happened at the start. McIntosh has gone back onto Brownless. White's come out on the bench.
Well, I actually think that's his best position
spot.
to Aston. McIntosh says the weather fine, light winds, 21 degrees, absolutely perfect. Was going forward for the West Coast is Schofield, punched away by McGrath. Oh, good play by Bond. Brought to ground, disposes of it. Oh, strong tackling by Geelong, but it's in the back of free kick, and it will go to Tim McGrath.
It's against Cousins there. He's pretty red hot.
Off to Sanderson, on to Scholl. Oh, there's loose men everywhere here for Geelong. Out wide is Johnny Barnes. Barnes has plenty of time to have a bounce. So he wants to give off a hand pass here. He does so. On to Hocking. Ben Graham. Beautiful kick normally onto his left, brings it into the danger area for the Eagles. It's down at half forward. It's a loose ball. This is Ronnie Burns, the chip pass. Oh, this is good play by Geelong. Brownless. And actually, I think he plays his best football at full forward also.
Yes, and great little pass there by Ronnie Burns. He's got Colbert free. Brownless on the inside 50 there if he wants him to square it off.
Brownless trying to do the team thing here and looking for the short one. He might have to come out, open up the goals a little bit here, Billy. For his second goal, he steps. Well, this is close. This might be through. Yes, it is. What a start to Geelong. 2 goals to Billy Brownless.
Yes, and it's a big ask for Malthouse to get Jakovic to run with Barnes. It's a different sort of fitness than he's used to and trying to read the game. Barnes was out wide and had a feature in this play getting down towards Brownless. Great pass there by Ronnie Burns.
Great start by the Cats, and once again Lee Colbert being used in the centre square 4 for the ball up. Barnes wins in the middle. McKinnon goes to ground. Here's Colbert getting the hand pass to Hocking. He goes out wide. Pickering shoots it inside the 50 to Mensch. Great running by Riccardi. His shot is home. 4 goals to the Cats.
Well, Drew, that's as an efficient piece of play out of the middle as you could get. Not so much in the number of touches that were had, but the way the options were used. The instinctive one first up, tapped by Barnes, pushed forward by McKinnon, who was pushed onto the ball by Colbert. Colbert again, Hocking the option wide, coming back inside, Pickering, Mensch, and then Riccardi, one of the best finishes in the game. That's spot on.
Well, I agree with you, Ross. That was just perfect football, starting with that original tap from Barnes. So let's have a look at it again. Johnny Barnes versus Glenn Jakovic. Well, Barnes is getting his hand to it nearly every time. That's Lovell getting it out to Kemp. Gee, they need a couple of quick goals, the Eagles. Kemp wide, looking for Bond. He's up in front. Was almost thrown away from the ball. Peter Matera's got it. They want a big game from him. It'll be a great contest. He's playing on Riccardi at the moment. He finds Bond. And this is Shane Bond bringing it in towards full forward. Up they go, the two Cats. Scholler's there. There's a chance for Bamfield. Couldn't get his boot to it. Graham onto Mansfield. Mansfield looking towards McKinnon. Oh, free kick to Lovell. Should have been.
Yes, it's going back there.
And it's coming back now. Andy Lovell, former Melbourne player, to take this free kick.
The crowd going crook because they reckon there was an advantage there.
No, it wasn't true. When the free kick was first pulled, there wasn't an advantage.
Jakovic working up forward, kicks wide to Ball in the pocket, and Ball takes the mark. He's about 30 metres from goal, but wide out. Play on, says the umpire. Ball has to go over the man on the mark. He had to blaze away at goal. The umpire reckoned he'd moved around from the mark, so it was a play on call, and Ball kicks it behind.
Looks like twins down there, Ball and Spinks.
Yeah.
Unbelievable likeness in the way they move.
Jason Ball has both scores for the Eagles, but they're behinds, and the Cats have 4 goals. What a start to Geelong.
Well, I'm waiting for Ben Graham to go for a torpedo punt. I think that's one of the exciting things when he puts them to the centre, but this time he's electing to go short. And this is Sanderson. Now he's going to transfer play here. Back it comes to Sanderson from Graham. Oh, nice kick to the half-back line. He finds Scholl. Oh, Geelong are looking pretty spot on, Ross, at the moment. Towards centre wing. McKinnon underneath it. Had to come back. Attempted fist away. Colbert's in after it. Matera's in there as well. And here's McKinnon. Can't get his boot to it. Mensch. Oh, Barnes tried to kick it in mid-air and it just bounced about a centimetre before the line.
Barnes works to the front, but Jakovic wins the tap, goes to Philip Matera. Hurried kick inside the 50. McGrath turns back inboard. Hall back home in Perth. Short pass to centre half back Hocking. Hall the old 1-2 and the 1-2-3 back to Hocking. Hocking pops it up high, but it's pretty good. And the mark taken by McKinnon. Great tackle by Kemp, and holding the ball, he wins the decision.
Silly handball, Ross.
Just flirting a bit with their form, and the option when you're in that situation, get it out long and quickly. It's all very well to control it, but you're putting yourself in spot of bother there.
Well, Ben Graham, nowhere to go.
Well, he handball to a guy who was surrounded.
That's
by
right, but he's also the least mobile, those involved in that lead-up, so the option there, not the good one.
And Kemp, one of the best tacklers in the lineup. Kicks from outside 50, into the breeze. It'll need to be good. It's just a centimetre short. Comes to the front to Cousins, the first gamer. Snap by Ball. Spinks.
Spinks it is, Drew.
And Spinks kicks another behind. So Spinks 1 behind. Ball has kicked 2, and the Eagles still looking for their first goal.
So the kick in comes out to Brenton Sanderson. Sanderson, long kick right down here towards Manfield. He made a lot of pace too. Onto his left he goes. The stab pass. Burns couldn't mark. Taken away by David Hart. Out to Jakovic, who should mark on centre wing and does. Now he immediately plays on to Mainwaring. Now he's got to do more with the ball, Chris Mainwaring. 2 bounces. Now he's going to kick it up in the air. Oh, that doesn't help your forwards, but they've got the high markers there. Ball and Spinks. Around the corner goes Matera. It was Philip Matera, and he has brought it across his body and through for yet another behind. So they're having plenty of the play,
Yes,
Ross.
and the smaller players like Matera, Morrison, Bond, when the ball goes up in the air like that, they must be at front of the pack, so when the Geelong defenders are going to spoil the taller Eagles forwards, the ball's always going to come 10 to 15 in front. You must be there. You can't get under it too far.
He goes to drop punt, Ben Graham, but still covers a good 65 metres. Barnes tries to punch it on. Was grabbed by Peter Matera. He gets the centre half forward. This is a chance. The kick is good. Oh, touched right on the line. Desperation dive by Sanderson, and another behind of the Eagles.
Well, That's fantastic midfield play. Great shepherd by Kemp to allow Matera to go forward. And you've seen him do that a few times against Geelong, but then that's just such desperate play by defenders. Good stuff.
Now, Ben Graham kicks it to himself, then drives it way out towards centre wing. Colbert at the back. Matera starting to get into the game. Here's Gary Hockey surrounded by Eagles players. Jakovic, he is clever. He went the right way, then onto his left. Now back onto the right. He's given it to Andy Lovell. They're really picking up their game here, the Eagles. As we see Peter Matera, who was almost off then. A very exciting player. He deserved a goal a moment ago, Matera. Now here's a man on his own, Main Waring. Now he's going to try and run round Colbert here. He's going now the acceleration. That's holding the ball because he bounced it and was grabbed. The umpire obviously didn't think he was grabbed.
Well, you're right, Pete. It's almost, you should almost have been pinged there because he bounced. You're right. Watch this again. He tries.
He
Colbert did the right thing.
Handball.
Handball. It looked as if he bounced initially, Pete.
So the throw in on centre wing. Barnes. Tapped by Schofield. Good play by Bond. On to Lovell. The chip pass is on. Good lead. Great pass. And this looks like a Spinks this time. The Spinks hasn't got those thigh protectors, whereas Jason Ball has.
Yeah, Lovell, he's starting to warm to his role at the Eagles now. It's taking him a while to settle. New style of play.
So Brett Spinks, a very, very difficult shot. He's outside. He's up against the fence. And when he actually kicks it, he'll be just inside the boundary lines. Would really lift the Eagles if he could kick this one. Brett Spinks kicks it out, starts to swing. That is a beautiful looking kick. I think that's a goal. It is.
Well, the thing the Eagles have to remember here, Pete, is that they are actually getting enough of the football. They're just not using it as well as they'd like. And now if they can set up better their Lovell. Good handball there from Bond, actually. And Lovell, as I said, warming to the task. And Spence, a difficult kick, pushing himself to the pocket. He did it very, very well.
Well, Mensch has been swung into the ruck for the Cats with Barnes going off, but Jakovic one out of the middle. Here's Riccardi going for a run for the Cats. Up to half forward. Burns in between wing and half forward. A lead by Brownless. The kick in that direction out wide. McIntosh with him. McIntosh putting on the spoilers. Ball out of play.
Super quick, McIntosh.
He's a player that can afford to, a bit like McKenna, Pete, who can afford to start from behind because he has that pace. He can pick up a play within a couple of strides.
It took the Eagles 17 minutes to get their first goal, but they've certainly been in the play. They've had more shots at goal. That's a beautiful ruck knock by Gehrig. He works it over his head, and Kemp goes for a run. Up to centre wing already. Now a long kick to the 50. Cousins beaten by Hall. Good mark.
Derek Hall gives it off to Graham. He's caught. Gets in a hand pass. Oh, shot. How will the umpire see that? He's calling a play on. Graham. Back to McGrath. McGrath to the halfback. Here's Gary Hocking. Loves to swing onto that left boot. Now he's lost it. Lovell hooks it back. Here's a hand pass coming back to McKinnon. Eventually it comes to Hocking. Hocking further afield to Brewer. This is good play. Back it comes to Brewer. That was from Mansfield. It's towards half forward and it's kicked away by Simmons towards the centre of the ground. Jakovic has it punched away. Back it comes to Aaron Lord, who's on the ground. On to Riccardi. Riccardi over the top. Here's a chance to Pickering. Back it comes to Riccardi. Riccardi straightens from 40 metres, tries to bend it back and puts it through for a behind.
Interesting, Pete, the Riccardi and Matera normally match up. They're playing on a wing, but they're not playing man on man, which they normally do. They're both free running forward. Barnes, problem with that right eye.
Came off and was replaced by Aaron Lord back in the side for the first time this year. The kick in by Hart, plenty of distance. Colbert the flyer at the back. McIntosh does extremely well to Banfield. Peter Matera at centre half back. Good running by Simmons. Wide open now for the Eagles. He goes to the outer side. Bond in front. Spoiled by Sanderson. Sanderson comes up with the footy. Little hand pass. Brewer put it out in front of his teammate. That was good. McKinnon runs on but doesn't handle. Main Waring. And now Lovell. Gee, it's a good game of football, and there's that young Cousins playing in his debut game. Ben Cousins, a late inclusion. Has that gone out?
The umpire, yes, he has. I thought the central umpire, Brett Allen, was going to play a throw against Lovell when trying to get that ball back in play.
So young Cousins, only 17 years of age, 25 plays 11. I think we're in for a very, very good contest here. Pickering goes back. This is Scholl onto his left towards centre wing. Brewer flies at the back, but he's got support here from McKinnon. McKinnon comes inside the Ments, who's caught by Matera. Umpire calling play on. Hockey, the crowd don't like it. Riccardi swings onto his left. He's very, very quick and belts it long. Brownless and McIntosh. Brownless couldn't mark the danger player. Burns swings onto the left. It bounces towards the goal. Shepling from Stoneham. It's a goal. Excellent play, particularly from Stoneham, to allow that ball to bounce through.
Yes, Pete, and again, I thought they may have overused the ball coming through the middle, Geelong, but their desperation got them to Riccardi, whose long kick forward. And Ronnie Burns, who played in a grand final side here last year for West Perth, knows this ground pretty well. As Pete said, good assist there from Stoneham.
.20-point lead to the Cats. Jakovic in the middle. Couch's hand pass astray. Schofield for the Eagles inside the 50. Graham hit it hard. Here's Cousins for his first goal. Yes! What a start for young Ben Cousins.
Very neat, Drew, isn't he? And so often younger players in their first or second kicks in footy, just the good pressure on the midfield, and Schofield quickly forward. You have to be able to do that today in the contest like that to make sure you give your forwards an opportunity. He's neat, isn't he? Just finished off so balanced, knows where they are.
And that's what I feel the Eagles have lacked the last couple of seasons. They've lacked some up around their forward line to take the crumbs.
Yeah, to mop up.
Particularly with Heady out of the side, but he's a bigger type player, but he's a goal sneak. So again, we see Jakovic taking on Mensch. Now that's more, well, they're about the same height, those two. Lovell, they're looking all right now, the Eagles. Mainwaring to Bond, who's been very good. Shane Bond hooks it around, tries to bend it back, not far enough, and yet another behind on the board to the West Coast Eagles.
Now, Johnny Barnes is sitting down. Dwayne Lamb.
Yeah, he unfortunately he caught a finger in the eye and it's puffed up a bit, and he's been having a little bit of trouble focusing, but I think it's starting to come back, and he'll be back into the game shortly.
Graham kicks in towards the outer side of the ground. An early climb was unsuccessful. Leaves the ball for McKinnon. A centering kick. Stoneham with Gehrig. Gehrig follows up, but Big Baz came back as well.
Yeah, well done by Stoneham, Drew, because the kick from McKinnon not so good. He put the advantage to Gehrig.
How about this for a stat? We've been playing in the game for 22 minutes and Geelong have had 47 handballs.
About to say that, yeah, it's just 15 to the Eagles.
So Jakovic and Mensch. Jakovic won it with the left hand. There's a quick kick by Couch to half forward. The bounce very important. Gehrig very quick. Chance here for Stoner. Oh, Burns, he's got some class, this young kid, and a beautiful kick to Riccardi. And Riccardi will kick from 55, but he is a booming kick normally.
Coming up for his 9th possession, so he's not worrying too much about Matera, who's hurt them in the past.
Well, no one on the mark now there is. Lovell's gone there, and Matera ran in close, but look at Riccardi. Belts it long, right through the middle and over the fence.
See, that's untidy, Pete, because initially Jakovic was on the mark, and then Mensch did the right thing by coming forward into the space, which then said to Jakovic, hello, who's picking him up? So he went away to grab him, saying, someone else grabbed the mark, Peter Matera, it's your man. They were slow to do it. Now watch this by Burns, just good skills, evasive, set up beautifully. I don't know if I have time to see the miss there. Jakovic is the one that's on the mark. No, we'll miss that. And allowed Riccardi to pinch an extra couple of metres, Drew.
And Riccardi was unmarked on the wing that time, with Matera taking up a halfback position. Jakovic gets the ball out of the centre circle. Bounces off Graham, fortuitously for Scholl, but he's thrown to the ground. McGrath goes off the ground. Bond fumbles. Well done, McKinnon. Mensch. Umpire eventually says, give it to me. We've got 3.5 minutes to go to quarter time. Blistering start by the Cats on the scoreboard. They're 6-1, but the Eagles right in it, but they've kicked 2 goals 6.
I certainly think they're kicking the ball longer to right of screen, so just a slight breeze favouring that way as Scholl gets it to Pickering. On to McGrath, to the half-forward line, Stoneham. On to Riccardi. Brilliant play to Couch. No, it was Scholl, in fact. Riccardi to Brownless. And the mark has been taken by Brownless, breaking away down there from McIntosh.
Sorry, Pete, I was going to say it was a terrific kick by McGrath because Stoneham on the lead was actually a bit behind Gehrig, but McGrath put it to Stoneham's right, which allowed him to just pick up and get in front in the end of Gehrig. Then the mark was a good one, and then the play from there was first class.
Great kick of a football, Billy Brownless going for goal number 3. He drifts it slightly, or did it hit the post? It just must have snicked the post, I think. And bad luck to Geelong. But there's Mickey Malthouse and Tim Jepp on screen, the former Richmond player. As David Hart brings it back in. He's normally a great kicker. Look at the pace of Gehrig. He's a fair dinkum athlete, Fraser Gehrig. To centre wing, Matera and Colbert. And Colbert won that duel. Off he goes. Good play by Lee Colbert. He was going to sprint away. No one coming at him. One-on-one contest. Oh, free kick to the Eagles, I felt. Could have been against Billy, that one. Oh, the crowd are hooting. I thought Billy got him round the neck then.
I'd agree with you. Now there's a free kick with Stone, and Mainwaring came in late on top of him. And umpire Goldspink saying that's against him. Now you're right, round the neck. Should have been for David Hart. Good contest here by Stoneham to get inside. Now watch Mainwaring coming late there. That's what the free kick's for.
So a little bit unlucky there, West Coast, because certainly the free kick should have been against Brownless. But nevertheless, it's going to Barry Stoneham from directly in front. And he'll be shooting for his first. And the crowd are hooting as Stoneham puts it through for a goal. So a very handy one, that one to the Cats. They moved to score under 7-2 to the Eagles 2-6.
And his play this quarter, Pete, we mentioned in the lead-up, there's a free kick. Hart around the neck. He should definitely have got the free kick. That's what that third umpire's there for, Pete. Stoneham recovery then, Mainwaring hard in over the top. It's an iffy one, isn't it?
Yep.
I mean, he got him in the side, it wasn't in the back. Still, that's why the game, the umpiring under interpretation, everyone has a different view.
Both coaches down at ground level. Interesting change. The wingmen have swapped sides. Riccardi and Matera have gone to the far side of the ground. Riccardi's given him a bit of a touch-up. It comes to Hocking. Stoneham flies for the mark and follows up for the bouncing ball. Kick by Stoneham inside half forward. Colbert! Oh, fantastic mark.
Great courage from all players there too, Drew. Going back and coming forward. All eyes on the ball. Watch this, up in the air.
What about Banfield here?
Yeah, Banfield going back.
Oh.
And Colbert to keep his eyes on the ball. It's good stuff.
Lee Colbert, who started off in the centre square and has now gone down to the forward line, is kicking for his first goal. 45 metres out. Perfect kick. Gee, the Cats are a freewheeling side. They've kicked 8 goals to 2 in this first quarter. It's been non-stop action.
Yes, Mainwaring's come onto the members' side wing here. Matera's gone. That's Peter Matera's gone to a flank, half-back flank to pick up McKinnon. And Banfield's on the other wing to Riccardi.
Well, really, they had to do something with Riccardi's wing, didn't they? Because Riccardi's just dominating the whole game.
10 possessions he's had, been brilliant. In fact, he's had a great start to the season.
So back to the centre. You said Geelong are a freewheeling side. They've kicked 8-2, but they've had 8 shots against them. You know,
6 different goal kickers.
It's amazing, isn't it? Because we see kick down by Scholl towards half forward. Daniel Metropolis has got it out wide. Banfield through Banfield brings it to the half forward line. Just holds up slightly in the breeze. McGrath's a tough cookie. Puts a lot of pressure on. There's Derek Hall taken over the line by Spinks. Ross thinks so, Jason Ball.
Ross, I think it says a lot of the way Geelong play the game. Riccardi wasn't worried about Matera. He was going to make the play himself.
Yes, and the teamwork there. If he was going forward, Colbert was dropping back to pick up Matera to make sure there was a saver there. So, intelligent play.
Well, here it comes back to Kemp. That was from Banfield. In towards half what they could really do with a goal here. Philip Matera gives it off. Cousins. Oh, smothered beautifully by Scholl. Taken by Bond. He bends it back. Free kick, I think. It'll go to Bond, but the distance would be a doubt. He'll have to kick from 50, and he's got 3 seconds.
To see this again, Pete. Scholl coming in there, and then late was Hall.
So he would have to kick the goal, I would think, because he wouldn't have time to get it up to the square. Unless
Such an important one anyway, Pete, isn't it?
It's a very, very important. Would lift the Eagles before quarter time. There's the siren now. So he's got to kick a very, very long ball here into a slight breeze. It's a little bit left to right, the kick. Well, he's inside 50, runs close to the man, kicks it very high. It starts to bend, not quite far enough, and yet another behind on the board, and that's his second. So 2-7 they've moved their score on to 19 as Mickey Malthouse comes out onto the ground, Ross.
Yes, I mean, he's tried to match up. The Geelong setup's been intriguing today. It's really made the Eagles shuffle theirs around, and they did so with Gehrig initially starting in the first ruck, then dropping back to centre half back to pick up Stoneham. Jakovic on the ball for that most part of that quarter. And Mick Mulder said, talking to Peter Matera, who's had some trouble with Riccardi today, Pete, who's really been very effective, not only with touch, but kicked 2 goals.
Well, what a spectacular start to the game. The Cats running on 8 goals in the first term. They lead by 31 points, 8-2 to 2 goals 7.
To bounce it, Minch do the ruck work against Jakovic. Gary Hocking's caught. Quick kick comes out of the pack, back towards the half-forward line. Here's Minch. Oh, that was good to Riccardi. He's starting off well again, brings it in towards the pocket. Hart will go to the line. Clever play by Hart. Didn't mess around and just tapped it back towards the line and disguised it beautifully, Roscoe.
It was a clever tap by Brewer, who came off centre half forward with the ball coming toward him, and rather than grabbing it, being caught, he fed it out wide and allowed him to push it forward.
Gehrig beats Stoneham and knocks the ball back out of play. Well, Fraser Gehrig, there's so much about him that it's a bit like Anthony Koutafidis. You can play key position in the ruck, on a flank.
Mitchell White's been forced forward as he was towards the latter part of that quarter. He's still up there.
Stoneham this time. Ball's locked in there. Hard work by Main Waring. And Main Waring with 5 possessions in the first quarter. The umpire's going to have to do it all again. Expected top 21 degrees, but pretty warm sun here today. And they will be testing conditions for the players. Oh, what a leap by Gehrig. But Colbert gets the hand pass and gets it back from Hocking. Down to the forward pocket. Burns is there. Oh, it sits up for the Cats players, and just as well it was knocked over the boundary line by Hart. An All-Australian a couple of years ago and a premiership. And the veteran is back.
So forward pocket for Geelong. The last thing the Eagles would want here is a quick goal to the Cats. Stoneham tried to hit it with the left hand, then he locks it in. Plays dive on a Brewers there, number 9, and the umpire will bounce it. So a huge quarter coming up for the Eagles. Geelong were very, very good in that first term. They looked sharp right from that first minute of play, the Cats. Now, here's Dean Kemp, who's an important player for the Eagles. Brings it out towards Mitchell White. Hall was at the back. Now, he's got support from Couch. Couch bends it back, finds Pickering. And Liam Pickering 60 metres out from goal. There's plenty of space for the forwards to lead. Now, the lead is on by Brownless. Out he comes with McIntosh. It's thumped away to Matera. Good play that by McIntosh. He goes wide. This is David Hart. Hart's been a terrific player over the years for the Eagles. Great kick to Mitchell White. White is going to go backwards. He's got a loose man out here. And this is Philip Matera. Philip Matera to half. What a kick straight to Geelong players. They raffled this one, and Mansfield takes the mark and sprints clear.
He's kicked to centre half forward. Brewer can't take the mark in front of his face. But look at the numbers. Riccardi amongst them again. The bounce, the hand pass to Couch. He sweeps the hand pass over Riccardi, wide for shoulder defender. He's inside 50 and goes for the goal square and finds Mansfield, who's come all the way from half back and is marked in the forward pocket. Goes round the corner, don't tell me.
Yeah, he's got it, Drew.
Oh, magnificent goal by Mansfield. You'd think after a run like that he'd be too out of breath to kick the ball.
Well, Drew, it's that desire to run and attack from half-back. The kick coming downfield initially into attack for the Eagles was cut off, and then they all ran forward in waves, and the options were plenty. Mansfield, as Drew mentioned, just took off, and at such pace. Class player, that fellow.
And he's the one who took the original mark at half-back, which is amazing play by Mansfield, as he's bending it back, and there's odds on he's going to run out and have a snap on his left there. So 9-2 plays 2-7. Very good style of football Geelong are playing. Here he comes again, Riccardi to Lord. In towards half forward, Brownless gets it off to Brewer. Is this another one coming up? Brewer bends it back, Burns flies off fingertips and through for a behind to Geelong.
Lyle's been given the job on Gary Hocking. Schofield had it early for a while.
Well, where are the Eagles going to get the goals to come back, even at this early stage? Nearly 7 goals down, and they've kicked just 26 goals in their 3 matches. This is
No mark.
contest close to the boundary line. The umpire wants it back to ball it up.
Richard White thought he marked that, as did I think most of the crowd in that area. A bit hard for us to tell because he had his back to us, running away as well.
Comes back into the pack. Lovell a little kick. He and Couch fighting for the ball. Eventually it comes out. Brewer. Gee, the umpire let that go for a fair while. Eventually he had no option.
So just outside the 50-metre mark. 9-3 the Cats. West Coast 2 goals 7. They badly need 3 or 4 quick goals, West Coast. As Geelong go forward again. Shuffled out, knocked on by Brewer. Oh, Gary Hocking when he tackles. Boy, he tackles hard.
Strong
and then tactics. A friendly little tap on the back. Friendly chap, Gary Hocking, Roscoe.
Yes, and it was Lyle that he tackled, so he's the fellow with the job on Hocking, as I mentioned.
So the bounce again at half forward for Geelong. Stoneham flicks it back, taken by Chris Mainwaring down to Jakovic. Riccardi. Well, this is a brilliant individual effort by Riccardi into half forward. Is it a mark? No, it's not. Kemp chipped in, gave it across to Paul Simmons. Simmons should give it to White. Here's a big chance for the West Coast. He waits, gives it back to Simmons. Simmons brings it in towards the pocket. It'll clear McGrane. He found Philip Matera. They've got the players running everywhere here. Oh, but no one now back in the screen. Now, his Mainwaring's gone back. Will it get to him? He waits. Yes. Turns round, bang, and kicks a goal.
That's much better, Peter. Far more creative. White could have turned and gone on, but he ran right across from the other side of the ground to make space there to receive. And then he gave it off to Simmons on the overlap, and he found Matera, who did the right thing in the end, just waiting for the right option. He had a number early, but he could have panicked and given it off too quickly. Mainwaring ran down very well for him. They finished off with what they wanted.
Well, a much needed goal by the Eagles, their first of this second quarter, but they trail 57-25. The Cats go forward again, Pickering to Couch. A very high ball by Paul Couch towards the outer side. Pickering follows up. Peter Matera's got him, and Pickering went straight for the boundary line, but the umpire said throw it in.
Yeah, we'll see this again, and just the pressure. The emotion initially, he was trying to go left, but it was fudged in front of him.
Clean possession, Colbert, but kicks into the pack. Peter Matera floats a hand pass over the top. Lyle gave it to a man under the pump. Here's Riccardi again. What a sensational display. Yeah. Couch, McKinnon through the middle of the Cats. Straight to full forward and Brownless. McIntosh is off the ground, tries Stoneham. It's still there for the Cats, but desperation by Metropolis sees the ball out on the other side of the ground.
Beautiful smother a moment ago by Peter Matera. He dived on the boot. It was absolutely fantastic. Over 5 goals. There's Daniel Metropolis, number 8. So 5 goals, a fair size margin at the moment. The way they move the ball these days. His best man on the ground, Riccardi, Is that another? Well, it's a free kick. The advantage paid? No, he's going to bring it back.
No, he was held. He was sitting over it.
And Matera not happy about it, but gee, it's been a brilliant performance by Riccardi. Just looking up his stats, he's had 9 kicks and 6 handballs.
2 goals.
That's 15 possessions and 2 goals, and we've still got 14 minutes of play left in the second term. Oh, Riccardi went, and eventually he was looking towards his teammate Aaron McGrath. He had his back turned, and Peter Matera came in to chip it over the line.
Well, so often the Cats have been chasing Peter Matera. Who'll ever forget his 5-goal performance in the '92 grand final when he won the Norm Smith medal? He just cut the Cats to pieces that day. Hocking over the ball. Ball, say the crowd. Play on, says the umpire. There's Kemp. And the umpire comes in and will ball it up.
Tell you what, Drew, the crowd's built up nicely too. They was very late getting here. Much better.
Downsborough warming up on the boundary line. Colbert goes for the boundary again, and we'll have a throw in.
It's amazing what you see when you barrack for a side. Every free kick, and
Jason Ball to come off, replaced by Downsborough.
And Downs from there. Would he go to a key position, or
initially he might start there? They might turn it around a bit, Pete.
I wouldn't think they'd leave him in a key position. There's Jakovic. They might even try him down there. There's a quick hand pass. Comes out to Andy Lovell in towards halfway, and White's doing all right up there. That's a good move.
He's an intelligent player, Pete. He can play either end.
So Mitchell White brings it long and low in towards. Oh, gee, that's a good mark by Ben Graham. Spinks was too slow getting there then. With a perfect kick for a forward to receive. Now Sanderson brings it wide. McGrath now is out in the full. Yes, a poor kick by Sanderson, and a kick out here to Cousins. Here's a man on his own in the pocket, and he's found him. It's Matera, Philip Matera. A very difficult angle. But these Materas normally do the miraculous.
This is what he's there for, Pete, to get these sort of opportunities. Cousins did the right thing, got it on quickly.
He was loose checking. He was a long, long way away from his opponent, Philip Matera. And the Eagles could really do with this goal. So Philip Matera out to the right, starts to bend it back. It's not a bad looking kick, but I don't like the way the umpire's going across. No, as far as the Eagles are concerned, it must have just missed.
Well, it's interesting. He's a brave umpire at that end, because the crowd is right behind it. Look good from here. Oh, there.
Graham to kick in. Interesting that Ball's off the ground. He's their leading goal kicker this year and last. And with Lewis being dropped and Sumic can't find any form, there's no heady, there's no experienced goal kickers for the Eagles, and they trail by 6. It's inside the 50, but they work it through McKinnon, McGrath, straight up the centre to Stoneham. Good dive. It's good to see Barry Stoneham back. He missed all of last year with a broken leg, getting better every game. Through Riccardi it goes. Off to Mensch. His kick inside 50. Brownless with one hand. It's been a great contest, Brownless and McIntosh. Simmons, across half back to Mainwaring, floats one over the top. Now some space for the Eagles. Lovell. White caught behind. Philip Matera's there. Clash of bodies here. Free kick, push out, and a Geelong free kick against Mitchell White. And the crowd not happy with that.
Well, it's I really thought it was a play-on decision.
Well, here's Ben Graham at half back, chipping it around Mansfield. He's a very good player, Michael Mansfield.
It's a tough call.
So Mansfield might have cost them a goal. So there's Metropolis, took front position. Hocking caught, held to him, and the umpire will bounce. The crowd's calling for the ball. But Cousins off. Looks like he might have damaged an ankle. And coming onto the ground is young Chad Morrison, who's one of the stars of the under-18 competition in Melbourne. There's Hocking.
It's going back the other way.
It's going the other way. It's an Eagles kick for too high against Hocking for a push in the face. We'll go to Braden Lyle.
You've got to be careful those fends off. You're allowed to fend off in the chest, but above the shoulders like a tackle, it's illegal.
Free kicks are 5-4 in favour of the Eagles, but you wouldn't know it by listening to the crowd.
So Braden Lyle, a low trajectory kick. Hall is very strong overhead, didn't quite hang on to it, shuffles it out. Mainwaring's got to kick this quickly. He gets onto his right boot, another wobbly kick up in the air. They need a mark. It's a good mark. Spinks. Brett Spinks has taken a very, very good mark in a one-on-one contest.
Yes, and his confidence will be building, Pete. It's been a while out of football, just the one senior game last year, so it just takes him again a while to settle into this sort of tempo. And it's a new structure in the forward area as well, so a lot of changes there. It certainly looks as if Jakovic has gone to centre-half forward. McGrath is picking him up. So you expect that Downsborough will do the bulk of the ruck work for the remainder of this quarter.
Brett Spinks has kicked one. Now, will still take a good kick. He'll have to kick from about 48 metres directly in front. And the Eagles need it badly. They trail 9-3 to 3-8. So Brett Spinks just inside the 50. Oh, I think he's hooked this, yes. Pulled it badly, in fact. And one behind. He's kicked two behinds, actually. McKinnon goes off for Geelong, and coming on is Grant Tanner.
About midway through the second quarter. And the kick to the far side bounces. Mansfield can't keep it in.
Just as well he had the pace through, because it looked as if it was going to go out of bounds, and he had material on his tail. Peter, that is.
Yes, he just got there in time to touch it over the boundary line, otherwise it was going to be an Eagles free kick into play. Jakovic. And Barnes back in business after the poke in the eye. Once again, the umpire not paying too many frees or playing ball ups. He's waiting for it to go and go. Cousins bursts away. It's not Cousins, it's Lyle, but the umpire's called for it and we'll ball it up.
Well, they look alike there, Drew.
We're about 60 metres out from goal. The Eagles in attack. They trail 3-9 to 9-3. So equal scoring shots, but they're down by 30 points. Colbert up to Mensch just forward of the wing. Clever tap on. But it goes out off Brewer.
So the time clock ticking down, just over 9 minutes left in the second term. 27 to 57, so 5 goals they need to pick up, the Eagles. There's Barnes back on the ground. Wayne Waring appealing for a free kick, and the umpire having none of that. I don't think it was there. So again, we watch Barnes against Downsborough. Barnes dominating the hit-outs there. Lovell gets it back to Banfield, out wide towards the boundary line, and it's Sanderson receiving, gives it to Pickering, received from Barnes, down towards half-forward. Metropolis went without it. Brewer tackles, loses it in the tackle. Here's Banfield again, smothered by Riccardi. Was good play. Banfield again onto his left, bends it back. There's 2-on-1 here. Jakovic has got a couple to beat. He's got Morrison in support now. Young Morrison's licked. Will the umpire pay it?
Yes, he will.
Yes, he has. It's got to come back. Good umpiring, actually, because although the crowd's calling for advantage,
that was too much later. At the instant the free kick was given, there wasn't an advantage.
Exactly. And Chad Morrison, an ordinary kick, a shocking kick, in fact, by the young fella. On to McGrath, on to Sanderson, and then on to Pickering.
Kick by Pickering. Tanner on the run. Takes the mark at full tilt. Steers it low for Brownless. Perfect delivery. Well, you can't stop that.
Well, I tell you what, the kick to Tanner was spot on. And unfortunately, Chad Morrison will find that the pressure of these sort of games, you must, if you're going to fight hard to get the footy, you must try and give it off to someone at advantage. The runner talking to him now, obviously just to G him up.
Well, Billy's had a great duel with McIntosh, but he's kicked 2 goals in the first quarter and lining up for number 3. Into a slight breeze, 48 metres out, distance of plenty, and he's got it.
No, left through, I think.
I just missed it to the left, so 2-2 for Billy Brownless. A man who can kick over silos, certainly not bothered kicking into a breeze from about 50.
He is a huge kick, Billy, as David Hart, or dangerous kick in. This could have been a Geelong free kick then for high on Colbert.
He's done some good work, Colbert, Pete.
Well, I thought that was a poor kick in then, because Banfield was well and truly covered. Colbert, good size of a player too. Now it's tapped there by Gehrig, in fact, taken by Couch, taken over the line by Andy Lovell, and holding the ball, says the umpire. And Andy Lovell, former Melbourne utility player, will take this kick. Here's a one-on-one contest. Mitchell White, very good mark against Derek Hall. Off he goes onto the left, brings it out towards Jakovic and McGrath. Over the back, it's a loose ball. Bond just a bit slow to get there then, Bond. And
Exactly right, Pete.
and I thought Sanderson just wanted that ball a little bit more desperately.
Yes, Bond should have realised he was going to carry over the top of the bustling McGrath and Jakovic, and that's what he's there for, to pick up that loose ball.
That's David Weerpunda.
I thought Bond had a little grip of the hamstring.
Yes, he's gone. He's just done it now. Drew, you're right.
Jakovic. Oh, brilliant football by the best and fairest. Bond is limping off. Kick by Jakovic to full forward. Good body work by Graham. And he made sure that ball went out in the forward pocket.
So Ben Cousins comes back on.
7 minutes remaining in the first half. 58-27. A 31-point lead to the Cats. But the Eagles down in attack for this boundary throw-in. Barnes does well. Scholl. Burns. Balk the hand pass. Well done. Barnes. Out of bounds on the 50 for a throw-in.
Things running Geelong's way too a little bit there, Drew. In that situation, they shouldn't have got out of it, but it's working. There's Bond. John Worsfold sitting down there as well.
Oh, the angelic-looking John Worsfold with the glasses. As we see Burns, he's got a touch of class. Oh, well played by Colbert. Dummied the hand pass, then brought it out to centre wing. Tapped on by Brewer. And taps it over the line. So the ruckmen congregate. It's Downsborough to take on Barry Stoneham. And Stoneham's starting to move so much better this past couple of weeks. Kip tried to shuffle it out. There's Tanner. Oh, cleverly done to Burns. He's off and running. He can run and bounce. He's looking to give it to someone. Onto the left he goes. Kicks it wide and a little bit too wide of Couch. Or was it the boundary umpire was 50 metres back? He wouldn't have been able to tell anyway from where he is. As we see McIntosh going across to Bamfield. They've got the loose man going. Matera can use his pace here. Let's see if he runs. Yes. Over the top to Morrison. Let's hope the young fella kicks it better this time. That's a better kick. A great kick by Morrison. And he finds the leading player down there in Brett Spinks. Great kick, that one, Roscoe.
Yes, it was. I tell you what, if he had got the ball quickly, Morrison's free again. Yeah, that'll give him some confidence, Pete.
So he'll have to kick Spinks from 50. He's kicked one goal so far. Boy, do they need one here. So right on 50, in fact. High kick. He's pulled this badly. And yet another behind to the Eagles.
They're maintaining this is Geelong, their possession ascendancy over the Eagles. They're still around 50 in front. And Dwayne Lamb, a report there on young Bond.
Yeah, Bondi's done the hammy and he's got it iced up, so he won't be taking any further part in the game.
Well, that's the end of him. That's a shame. Perfect kick in by Graham. Found McGrath. Colbert has played a superb game. McGrath had doubled on, but it goes to Hall instead. McGrath's kept going. Might get it back from Hall. Centre wing. Comes in short. Tanner, who came off the bench. The shot. Couch. Just cleared the head of Peter Matera. Paul Couch off the left looking for Brownless. Pushed out of it by McIntosh. But the mark stands to Ashley McIntosh. He goes to the outer side. Good stretch by Ball, who marks at left half back. They're finding a bit of space now. Morrison, short of centre wing. It's 9-4 Geelong, 3 goals, 10 the West Coast. Kick by Morrison in the direction of Jakovic at centre half forward. Spoiled by McGrath. Jakovic good enough to keep it in, and then the tackle takes him out.
And a change made by Gary Ayres, Drew. Paul Lynch comes on for his first run, Brewer off, so Lynch goes to a half-forward flank.
So centre wing, Spinks to take on Barnes. Spinks actually won that one. Kemp tried to tap it on. Burns races in after it with McGrath. McGrath back to Colbert. Free kick to Andy Lovell. So Lovell's going to kick it to Matera here, who has ducked back. He should mark this.
God.
No, Riccardi did that well. Matera didn't lean into him enough, and that's 50 metres against Matera. And Riccardi's had a magnificent game.
That's harsh, I think. And Brewer's going to come back on. Gary Hocking's been taken off. He's been quietish today. Here it is again. This is too harsh. Oh, I see. Okay, left hand in to tap the ball out. Well, there you go.
So Peter Riccardi, who has been absolutely sensational This ground's made to order for him, hard and fast, and that swooping left foot kick into the danger area. Oh, that's almost a mark. It's a push out, and at least, and it's going the way of the Eagles. To McIntosh, he's got to come back behind the mark. That's a great duel down there, McIntosh and Brownless.
They're well matched, Pete.
Very, very quick, Ashley McIntosh. He belts it out wide. A well-weighted kick too, and he finds Drew Banfield.
Left half back for the Eagles. Under 4 minutes to half-time. Up to centre wing. Kemp. Great effort. Couldn't quite take the mark, but followed up. Slides the hand pass in. Lovell. To full forward. Spinks. Cousins hit it hard, the little rover in his first game. Morrison did well in his second game. And Morrison snaps, and it's another behind. Well, this is getting out of hand now for the Eagles. They're 3-11.
Sensational play by Cousins. Then Ross away crashed through.
Well, they've just got to go at full tilt there because they'll know they're playing against the big boys.
So there he is, number 35. Now Graham. Oh, lovely kick by Ben Graham, and he finds Hall. Hall's way out at half back. Got all the answers at the moment. Dangerous kick, that one though. Philip Matera handballed it and then was dragged off it. How will the umpire pay this? He's going to bounce it. Just gave a clever little hand pass away, Matera. So a bounce at the 50-metre line. 3-11 the Eagles, 9-4 the Cats. Here's Barnes. Oh, he did that very, very well to Pickering, and Mickey Malthouse wouldn't like that. They did it far too easily. Here's Lynch. He's caught. Out it comes to Barnes. On to Brewer. Clever dummy. On to Tanner. Danger here. Burns goes inside. Good play to Tanner. Tanner too slow. That's holding the ball.
Good tackle by Metropolis.
Now, it's a free kick coming back here to Metropolis, and he just wasn't aware, Tanner, that the player was coming after him.
Through Banfield to Peter Matera. This is where he kicks goals from. Goes for the stroll and a couple of bounces. Oh, what a kick to Kemp on centre wing. That is perfect. And the Eagles starting to get themselves clear. That's 50.
Well, I thought that was totally unfair against Mitch, that 50.
Well, all he's doing, he knew that that ball was running down the outside. He's just trying to hold him up.
Exactly.
I mean, that's all within the rules of the game.
Kemp was moving out left. Now, here's the short pass anyway.
Dive by Spinks, play on, says the umpire. Crumbs come to Mansfield. Mensch is there. Bowled over by Kemp.
Free kick to Kemp, Drew.
Held when not in possession. And umpire Greg Scroop ruling on it. So Kemp and Mensch has had a bit of a 6 of one, half a dozen of the other in the last 30 seconds.
Well, that's the West Australian umpire, so he's gone each way.
It doesn't make any difference where you come from,
Not
does
at
it,
all.
Roscoe?
Well, they really need this. Their last goal, second quarter, 6.5 minutes. They've kicked only 3 goals for the game, 3-11. So Dean Kemp needs to convert here. Breeze behind. He hasn't. Punch out by Barnes to Cousins. Oh, that's terrific. Oh, what? Oh, didn't quite carry. Gee, it looked good. Got great poise, the youngster, just 17 years of age. Scholl.
And Scholl's gone short. He found McGrath, who plays on to Liam Pickering. Pickering to Couch. Couch kicks it wide. Here's the best man on the ground in Riccardi. Matera's got him. The umpire probably deemed him to be in possession.
No, he paid a free kick for holding on, Pete.
Well, he was hovering over the ball, surely. Anyway, Matera can't believe it. Riccardi brings it in towards centre wing. Up they go. Derek Hall's very strong overhead. I think it's a Geelong mark, all right.
First touch to Hall.
No doubt about that. It was a mark to Hall.
Mensch has been taken off for those 2 indiscretions.
So Derek Hall to half forward. And the mark has been taken by Tanner.
Is that Lord Andrew?
Yep.
So Grant Tanner brings it up towards Brownless. Again, the pressure put on there by McIntosh. Hart to Metropolis. They've got 35 seconds in which to race it down and get a goal. Here's Morrison. It was a poor kick to Morrison. Umpire calling play on. Here's Lord. He's caught. Gets in a hand pass. Sanderson is going to kick it up high. Should be an Eagles mark. Oh, he didn't want to. He just didn't go hard enough. Lyle socked it off the ground and through for a goal. And that was by Pickering.
Yes, he looked forward to see whether he should commit himself to the contest, and then in that indecision realised at the end that he had to go, and then should really have just turned his back and tried to take it on the chest if he could. It's easy from here. McIntosh coming out. Not sure if the call came from McIntosh for Lyle to go, but McIntosh could have protected him. There wasn't going to be a collision. Yes, and the goal results.
Well, they didn't need that in the last 15 seconds of the half. Back in the centre. Barnes to Couch, who's back in a familiar role in the centre square now. Been down on the forward line for the bulk of the game. And there is the siren. Well, Geelong have more than doubled their score. It's 35 points the difference, but it's straight kicking against blazing away. So they've had enough of it on the forward line, the West Coast Eagles, but it's a long way back from 35 points behind at half-time. And Peter Riccardi's first half is worth recounting. He's had 19 disposals, 12 kicks, 7 hand passes, and 2 goals. Bond's game is over after the hamstring. Jason Ball spent some time on the bench, so it's difficult to know where the Eagles are going to start getting the goals, because Mainwaring, Spinks and Cousins have kicked their goals, and so many of their goal kickers in their glory years are no longer with them. There's Peter Matera, who's had a tough time with